Tonight, a look at Regina's crime statistics for 2025. A man is charged for a collision that killed a 19-year-old woman. A Saskatchewan town fights for their Ag Research Centre.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. More than 3 months after the death of a 19-year-old woman, the man behind the wheel of the vehicle that struck her has been charged and made his first court appearance in provincial court today. Sierra D'Souza Butts was there and has the latest.
A 44-year-old man who has been accused of dangerous driving causing the death of a 19-year-old woman appeared in Regina Provincial Court on Tuesday and has been released from police custody. Dewdney Ave has been charged with dangerous operation of a conveyance causing death following a 4-month investigation by Regina Police Service. On October 12, 2025, police received a report of a collision involving an injured person on the 3400 block of Dewdney Avenue. Upon arriving, officers found a 19-year-old woman seriously injured and lying on the ground, paramedics pronouncing her dead at the scene. Investigators determined that a freight truck driven by Imaha failed to stop at a red light and collided with a vehicle traveling south on Elphinstone Street. The truck then left the roadway, striking a bus shelter where the woman was waiting before colliding with several fences and a street light. Imaha has been released from police custody under several conditions, including not being able to drive a vehicle. He will make his next court appearance on February 12th here at Regina Provincial Court. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Well, it's a question asked every year in the city of Regina. Is crime decreasing or is it getting worse? Today, the Regina Police Service released the crime stats for 2025. And as Donovan Mace tells us, while the trend is a positive one, the increase of 2 major criminal acts is concerning.
Regina's crime rate continues to see an overall decrease, according to Regina Police Service statistics.
For the end of the year, in total, crimes against person and crimes against property were down 15.4% for the year, which is a significant decrease over 2024.
Now, it's a trend Davie sees as encouraging as property crime continues to decline after hitting a 5-year high in 2023, with RPS reporting about 9,400 crimes like thefts and break-ins last year. And while overall property crimes decreased, arson cases are up for a 5th straight year, almost doubling from about 300 to nearly 600 in 2025. Now, crimes against people like assaults also declining, dropping about 14% or 500 cases from 2024. More troubling for RPS, however, homicides, as 11 people were killed in 2025, nearly doubling from the previous year and surpassing the 10 Regina saw in 2023. Now, despite that, police have laid charges in all 11 investigations.
There really isn't sort of any one thing that we can do to prevent it, but I'm certainly proud to say that we have laid charges in all of those instances. And for a police service and maintaining trust in the community, I think that that's a big important piece of it.
And as the service turns the page on a new year, Davies is stressing its commitment to public safety.
We're really responsive to crime trends as they happen throughout the year. So, I think all of our both patrol and investigative units are working hard in all of their respective areas to keep our community safe.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
The town of Indian Head plans to fight a federal government decision to close the agricultural research station in that community. The facility has been conducting research into crop production and farming practices since 1887. As Wayne Mantica tells us, the town believes the work done is vitally important to farmers.
The mayor of Indian Head was shocked to learn that Ottawa plans to close the local agriculture research station.
They did research into, from what I understand it, of making better crops, more protein, higher yields, different things like that, stuff that grows better in our climate. Is it a necessity? Yes, I think it is a great thing for the farmers, and they're doing the research to help them along with their production.
Closure of the research facility will cost the community about 40 good-paying jobs. It's the second major blow dealt the community by Ottawa in little over a decade. Back in 2012, the federal government announced closure of the Indian Head Tree Nursery, which cost the community 70 jobs.
That was our first hit. We survived it, but I mean, it's still, now it's another hit to our community. So it's something we've had here for many years. I mean, the experimental farm is now close to 140 years.
Ottawa plans to close 7 agriculture research stations across Canada in an effort to reduce the size of the federal civil service. The 2 in Saskatchewan are in Indian Head and Scott. 17 others nationwide will remain open, including Saskatoon, Regina, Swift Current, and Milford, although there could be some additional job losses.
So we've already taken a lot of cutting over the last 10 years or so, and that yet they're asking more.
The town of Indian Head plans to fight the research center closure. It will soon convene a meeting with elected federal and provincial representatives to seek support and to work on a strategy. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Indian Head.
SaskPower says its grid remains strong as weekend weather strained power grids across the continent. A strong winter storm with heavy snow and freezing rains impacted people from West Texas all the way to eastern Canada and has more than 500,000 Americans without power. From Friday evening till Monday morning, SaskPower actually sold power to 14 states in the Midwest. And with temperatures dropping below -30 here in Saskatchewan, demand did remain consistently above 3,500 megawatts during the weekend, but there were no issues. The Saskatchewan NDP says the government's PST on construction is a bit of a chokehold on growth. NDP MLA Alina Young was in Yorkton today to call on Premier Scott Moe to cut the 6% PST imposed on the Grain Millers Drive construction project there. The NDP estimates that the tax costs builders an estimated $484 million every year since the government introduced the idea in 2017. The NDP claims it's driving up the costs of infrastructure and housing across Saskatchewan.
Whether it's that hospital, whether it's that water treatment plant, whether it's Grain Millers Road, taking the 6% PST off of these projects ensures that that money stays here in the community instead of going directly into the Sask Party Bank account.
In a response, the province says a broad application of PST ensures that a fairly applied, reliable and sustainable source of revenue is available to fund the many public services provided by our government, including grants, the municipal sector, infrastructure investment, healthcare and education. All right, Sabine joins us for our first look at weather, and I know it was inside recess for my son when it came to this morning's temperatures, but are we going to see some reprieve here soon?
Yeah, it's a very, very, very slow warm-up, Lee, and today it may not have felt like it because we still saw those wind chill values in the, while starting out the day in the -30s, nearing -40 for some parts of southern Saskatchewan, and stayed in the -30s for most of the day. Even the daytime highs didn't get as warm as what the seasonal average is for this time of year. You can see on the almanac the average is about -10. We warmed up to about -17 late this afternoon, and again the wind chill values have stayed in the stayed mostly in the -30s for much of the day, and then later this afternoon did get into the -20s for a little bit. We don't have to worry too much about active weather over the last couple of hours today, but as we proceed into the rest of this week, there is snow in the forecast, but with that snow we have warmer temperatures, so I'm not sure you either like the cold or you like the snow. Either way, you're getting a little both for this week. I'll have the details in your full forecast. Lee?
All right, thanks, Sabine. Police Academy was a popular comedy movie franchise back in the 1980s, but the Police Academy at Scott Collegiate, nothing to joke about. Today, the program held a showcase for grade 8 students in Regina. Damien Smith was there and has the story.
Students from Regina in grade 8 learn about the bomb squad, SWAT team, and K9 unit. Scott Collegiate is looking to recruit students to the Scott Police Academy.
We know based on past experiences, students don't have the greatest experience with police officers, so this is just one of our ways that the Regina Police Service and the school board has come up with a plan to do that.
Entering its 6th year, the Academy's outlook is inspired by a program in Rosetta, California. While that program focuses on military and police, the SPA looks to focus on tightening community bonds. In her first year, Valora Larry is happy she joined.
I enjoyed it because I got to interact with the public, and I got to see what my life could be like if I decided to be a police officer.
The academy currently holds 70 to 80 students, and the first graduating class was only 2 years ago.
You know, you get attached, and I'm not here on a regular basis, but Constable Logan is, and you know, he gets attached to the kids, and they get attached to him too, and you know, they build a nice bond.
With the potential to stay in the program for 4 years, some students take the skills for life and a potential career path.
We have a young man that's in grade 12 that has joined the military who has an aspiration of joining the Regina Police Service.
I want to be a police officer. Currently, I'm serving in the Army Reserve. It's very hard becoming a police officer. They're very strong people.
Begg has wanted to become a police officer since he was 8 years old, interacting with officers at school and watching them on TV shows. The program has been a perfect fit.
I gained leadership skills, communication skills, and skills to work with others, and before that you never really had that coming out of grade 8.
Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Well, it's the end of an era as Toys R Us stores are closing in Saskatchewan. A sign at the Toys R Us store in Saskatoon reads, "The store is closing. Everything must go." Regina store, the same, shutting down. The closures are part of restructuring as Toys R Us Canada struggles financially. Several suppliers are suing over alleged unpaid bills, including makers of Paw Patrol and Gabby Dollhouse toys. The Canadian Press reports 6 suppliers are seeking more than $4 million, while landlords are suing for more than $31 million in alleged unpaid rent.
Whenever there's a closure of any kind, big or small, especially in our district, seeing them leave, you know, it is a little sad to see them go.
News did reach out to Toys R Us but did not receive a response. Well, Family Literacy Week kicks off across Saskatchewan, encouraging families to turn everyday moments into learning opportunities, especially at the dinner table. As Carla Shinkaruk tells us, this year's theme focuses on making mealtime a time to learn together.
Llama, llama, red pajama. This group is improving literacy by listening to a storybook in this class, but other activities where kids are listening to instructions are also considered ways to improve literacy. Tuesday marks the 27th annual Literacy Day across the country, and until Saturday, it's Provincial Literacy Week. The focus this year is to maximize everyday activities like making meals to help build literacy skills before kids start kindergarten.
Conversations happen in the kitchen, they happen when you prep meals, they happen when you set the table.
For this mom, classes like this one for preschoolers called Learn to Soar are a valued part of teaching her 3-year-old.
We just dropped in to listen to some stories and play some games. For Madden to meet some new friends and learn some stories, play some games.
Saskatchewan families and literacy partners are coming together this week to celebrate learning, which begins at home.
Learning starts from birth, if not even before. And so when we read with our children, spend time with our children, talk with our children, we're exposing them to vocabulary, we're exposing them to increased concentration.
The topic of technology is also part of the literacy conversation.
Parents are really interested about handheld devices. How much time should my child be spending with their iPad?
She says there's increased data coming out that kids under 2 shouldn't have any exposure to technology.
It's hard to grow critical thinking skills, reading skills, writing skills, all of those important platform pieces of learning on technology when it's handing you the information.
Family Literacy Week continues with events and resources at local family literacy hubs across the province. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Greetings, everyone. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are the most iconic sports team in the land, who believe sport and education play a role in developing young leaders. Now the First Nations University of Canada has received a one-time $60,000 commitment from the Green and White that will support incoming Indigenous students through a bursary and scholarship. Jacob Carr has more on what the investment means for students moving forward.
representation, opening the door to reconciliation and education. The riders are creating a pair of scholarships for the First Nations University of Canada, one for students moving away from home to attend school, the other for academic excellence.
I do know that there are students that want to pursue post-secondary education, but are not supported cannot be supported because of the limitations financially within their communities.
The riders say they were able to make the commitment through the launch and sales of their Indigenous logo merchandise from 2024. The designer of that logo, Chris Chipak, says the announcement of the Away From Home bursary, which supports Indigenous students relocating from their home communities to attend university, hits home for him.
Making the move to come to Saskatoon and come to University of Saskatchewan, it was definitely a cultural shock. To be in a classroom in high school where there was 12 of us to coming into theaters where there's 300.
According to the Rough Riders, as soon as the Indigenous logo was unveiled, the merchandise started flying off the Rider Store shelves, sparking a bigger conversation on how the team could give back to the Indigenous community.
We started looking at, what form does that take, and looked at our pillars, our community pillars, and right away education jumped out. And we thought if we can remove some barriers by providing some scholarships to Indigenous students entering First Nations University, that would be a very meaningful way to give back.
Reynolds went on to say that while the scholarships are currently a one-time commitment, the team is still finalizing profits from their colorized 2025 Indigenous logo, so similar announcements may be coming in the future. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
After the break, the Prime Minister says he is not backing away from his words in Davos. Plus, should Canada ban social media for young children following Australia and France? Mark Carney is holding firm on his speech to the World Economic Forum in Davos, despite claims by a Donald Trump insider that the Prime Minister aggressively walked back some of his remarks in a phone call with the president. Mark Lecouture is more on a war of words between the two leaders.
I meant what I said in Davos.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China.
I explained to him what we're doing, 12 new deals on 4 continents in 6 months. He was impressed, and what we intend to do going forward, as well as the opportunity to, of course, move forward on CUSMA.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, or if you prefer, Governor of Canada.
12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
He spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Asked specifically about that.
So you didn't walk back your comments?
No. But there was no public readout of the conversation between Trump and Carney, something the Conservatives are criticizing. Michael Chong wrote on social media, "It is unacceptable that Canadians and journalists learned of this recent call from American media." Besson's comments come days after Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canada if the government signs a free trade agreement with China, something Carney says he's not pursuing. Political analysts believe the current strategy is to keep calm.
Trump is going to make noise. He's going to flash. He's going to swear. He's going to stamp his feet. Just take a breath, take a moment. Chances are the storm will pass, and it has.
The Prime Minister says he reiterated in his conversation with the President that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now, following up on his announcement yesterday, Prime Minister Mark Carney kicked off a new session of Parliament with the plan to boost the GST credit to make groceries more affordable. But will it have an impact? CTV's Scott Hurst will break down the numbers.
The Liberals are promising more money back for you with some grocery affordability measures. So let's break down what this could mean for a whole lot of Canadians who are looking at their food bills and wondering, where all the money's going. According to the Liberals, 12 million Canadians could benefit from these changes. They're promising to pay back hundreds of dollars more a year for people with low to moderate incomes. That means the average family of four will get back nearly $2,000 this year, with the addition of an extra one-time payment and $1,400 each for the following years. For a single person, it could mean just shy of $1,000 this year and about $700 after that. The opposition is saying it won't stand in the way, but argues it won't bring much relief.
This will deliver hundreds of dollars more into the bank accounts of more than 12 million Canadians. Starting this year, we're taking the existing GST credit amount and raising it by 25%.
Justin Trudeau tried the exact same thing just a few years ago, and it did not result in lower grocery prices. And remember, Mark Carney himself said that he should be judged on the prices at the grocery store.
You may have noticed Mark Carney made the announcement in a grocery store promising more money for you, really a campaign-style look. He was asked if this is priming Canadians for an upcoming election. He said no. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The Prime Minister squared off against Pierre Poilievre in the House of Commons today. The Conservative leader insisted that Canada works better with less government and without a bloated bureaucracy.
We've got too many laws that stand in the way of safe and responsible resource development, so he creates even more laws. He's confusing the problem with the solution. Mr. Speaker, we don't need more signing ceremonies, more summits, more laws, more agencies, more corporate buzzwords, or more abracadabra. What we need from this Prime Minister is one thing: get out of the way.
Poilievre also says the annual cost of groceries for a family of four is $17,600, $1,000 more than it was a year ago. He insists that the Liberal rebate, worth less than one trip to the grocery store, won't fix food inflation or grocery taxes. Jury selection in a landmark U.S. trial today involving several social media giants. The platforms are accused of deliberately addicting and harming teenagers. It's happening as France today followed Australia, introducing a law restricting social media access to youth. Abigail Bimman looks into the enforcement and whether Canada plans to go the same route.
France's National Assembly votes in favor of a social media ban for children under 15. The president wants the ban in place by the next school year, posting, "Because our children's brains are not for sale." While in LA, a landmark series of trials begins with parents, teens, and school districts taking social media giants to court over addiction claims. Snapchat and TikTok reportedly settled in advance, leaving Meta, Facebook and Instagram's parent company, and YouTube.
We haven't landed on anything yet.
In Canada, the government is planning new online harm legislation after the last bill died with the Trudeau government, but no update on when or whether it will include a similar ban to France and Australia.
The objective of a new Online Harms Act would be to protect kids, first and foremost. And also there's legitimate concern of the state protecting freedom of expression, and that is also key. So there's a balancing act.
It can be used as a very vicious tool to harass, bully, stalk, defame, hurt people.
Lawyer Ma'anit Zemel's office gets at least a call a day looking for help. She's calling for nuanced regulations that are enforceable and tailored to specific harms like cyberbullying or overuse, saying a full-out ban is not the answer.
The kids just get around it by using, whether it's VPNs or just saying they're older. And, from a legal perspective here, it might be challenged for all kinds of reasons.
CTV News reached out to Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and Meta. By deadline, only Meta responded, saying they'll comply with any regulations, but governments considering bans should be careful not to push teens towards unregulated, less safe sites. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
And today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Survivors visited the Auschwitz concentration camp memorial site to commemorate the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Nazi camp. The former prisoners laid flowers and wreaths at the execution wall, also known as the Wall of Death, where German forces fatally shot thousands of people. About 6 million Jews and millions of others were killed by the Nazis during the Holocaust. Coming up, the nominees are announced for next month's Juno Awards in Hamilton.
The WHL playoff drive begins now. Wednesday on your morning, the rebuild in Moose Jaw went faster than expected. They're checking in on the Warriors.
All right, welcome back. Let's get right into your forecast for what's expected heading into tonight and for the rest of the week and even the weekend. Currently, we're sitting at minus 17. Calm winds, and believe it or not, no wind chill out there right now. We're just sitting at it's actually minus 16.6 to be exact. But yeah, no wind chill to worry about for now. That will change as we head into later this evening. Wind chill is returning, expecting to be in the mid-minus 20s tonight into tomorrow morning. Temperatures gradually starting to see that warm up, but it won't be overnight that we see the temperatures warming up into the single digits. That'll come by about Friday into the weekend. But this is what we are looking at heading into this evening. We do have cloud cover. More of that cloud cover is going to be sticking mostly into western Saskatchewan. So if you are waking up first thing tomorrow morning, eastern Saskatchewan seeing mainly sunny conditions, western Saskatchewan seeing cloudier conditions, and we will also expect to see a little bit of this precipitation starting to make its way into the southwest Wednesday late afternoon in the form of snow, but we could see mixed precipitation as we head into the evening tomorrow evening, in particular for the southwest, a mix of freezing rain, snow, and a little bit of rain there. But in terms of what we're looking at for snowfall totals for southern Saskatchewan, it's looking like we will see trace amounts because you can see that system in Alberta that will bring more snow in by Thursday, and you can see there's that band of precipitation mostly again in the west, but as that system continues to move through, we will see it covering more of southern Saskatchewan, mostly in scattered flurries. So again, between now into about Friday evening, we could expect to see anywhere between 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. Largely, it'll be around the Moose Jaw area that we could see up to about 3 centimeters of snow. For the Regina and surrounding areas, even in the southwest, as of right now, it does look like 1 to 2 centimeters is expected between now into Friday evening. Temperature slowly getting back into that seasonal range. Tonight, we'll still see some colder than average temperatures, minus 29 for La Ronge. But into tomorrow, again, the usual daytime highs for this time of year is anywhere between about minus 10 to about minus 13. So La Ronge still seeing colder than seasonal temperatures tomorrow at minus 20, minus 11 for Lloydminster and cloudy conditions there, minus 18 for Prince Albert, minus 13 for North Battleford. Saskatoon seeing a daytime, close to seasonal day, minus 16 tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Minus 26 for Yorkton tonight, warming to minus 19. The southwest, though, quite warm. 0 expected for Maple Creek and cloudy conditions there. Swift Current minus 6, minus 11 for Moose Jaw, and over in the southeast, similar temperatures as the southwest. Minus 12 for Weyburn, minus 13 for Estevan, and Assiniboine minus 8. Unfortunately, Regina's not there just yet, but our seasonal low is back. Minus 21 is what we're looking at for tonight. Mostly cloudy conditions, winds up to 10 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow warming up to minus 14, winds at 15 kilometers an hour, mainly sunny. But again, the wind chill values are still expected to be in the minus 20s for tomorrow. But here is where all the good news is. Taking a look at what's to come, again, the next couple of days still a little cooler, especially with the wind chill values. By Friday, though, warming up to minus 9. And I do just need to point out we will see some high winds coming back on Friday. Winds gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour, mainly sunny conditions. By Saturday, we will see a little bit more of that snow. Again, as of right now, it's looking like we could see up to about 1 centimeters of snow. So not a huge snowfall coming through over the weekend. 0 is the expected daytime high. And even taking a look at the lows, much warmer than what the average in the minus 20s is for this time of year. By Sunday, marking the beginning of February, minus 4, mainly sunny, and that's just going to continue. So just like January started out a little warmer than seasonal, or as the beginning of January was looking warmer than seasonal, that's what the story is looking like for the beginning of February, Lee.
Beginning of February. Interesting. A couple of zeros in that 7-day forecast.
Not too bad.
So that will have people happy for sure. Thanks, Sabine.
You bet.
Well, the nominees have been announced for the 55th annual Juno Awards. International stars Tate McRae, Justin Bieber leading the way with 6 nominations. Andrew Kay says more on an event that gets underway next month in Hamilton.
do backflips.
He may have first caught our attention when Kamloops, BC's Cameron Whitcomb auditioned on American Idol, but now he is a Juno nominee. Yep, he is no quitter. The first-time nominee heard his name 5 times this morning, including for Breakthrough Artist of the Year and TD Fan Choice Award, as well as Country Album of the Year. But leading the pack, Justin Bieber is an 8-time Juno winner already, but never has he had 6 Juno nominations in 1 year. Hold on, hold on. His single Daisies is up for Single of the Year off the album Swag 2. He will also vie for Artist of the Year. Could Tate McRae be any hotter? The former Calgary-born dancer tied the Biebs with 6 nominations. Best Single, Sports Car kicked off her Album of the Year contender, So Close to What? Daniel Caesar already has been announced as a performer, and he may pick up a Juno this year. He is nominated for 4 trophies, as is The Weeknd. Fill my head with all these sounds. The Junos will be hosted by comedian, actor, and singer Mae Martin from the TD Coliseum in Hamilton on March 29th. Andrea Case, CTV News. I know it sounds special, but it feels...
Still ahead, with free agency a few weeks away, the signing surge continues for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Saskatchewan Roughriders have secured another one of their Canadian defensive players for next season.
Rourke looks to his right. That's where he throws, and that's intercepted. Taken away. Lacombo's got it.
Defensive back Nelson Lacombo has signed a contract extension. The former U of S Husky made 23 tackles and an interception last year, playing safety and special teams. Now, he was drafted by the Riders 2nd overall in 2021, but had some unfortunate start. Lacombo missed his rookie season when he tore his Achilles just before training camp. Well, Jolene Campbell and Team Saskatchewan will just had one game today at the Scotties in Mississauga, but it was an important one. With a record of 2-2, they are still in the mix for that 3rd and final playoff spot, but they need to win the majority of the round-robin games, and it started this afternoon against Team Canada. It was 4-3 Canada in the 6th end when Campbell's hit and roll didn't stop as shot rocked, so Carrie Anderson had the draw for 2 to take a 6-3 lead. Campbell then in the 7th end, facing trouble. Needs a draw to the 4-foot for 1, but her shot, that's going to slide right by. Canada goes on to the 10-4 win. Saskatchewan will play 2 essentially must-win games tomorrow versus the Yukon and Ontario. WHL, the Moose Jaw Warriors have quite the test tonight as they host the conference-leading Prince Albert Raiders, winners of 7 straight.
Cutting right wing. Checked by Andreessen, moves it to the net. They look right side and score.
Raiders have won both meetings so far this season. That includes a 3-2 shootout victory in Moose Jaw last Thursday. Prince Albert forward Max Heiss brings a 6-game point streak into tonight, while the Warriors are just 3 points up on Regina and Red Deer for 7th in the conference, and Moose Jaw has played an extra game. Puck drop is 7 o'clock at the Temple Gardens Center. Well, pair of men in Edmonton say the hit Crave show Heated Rivalry is giving a product that they created a decade ago new life. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more.
Chris Wells and Jeff McLean opened the door a decade ago, introducing hockey to rolls of rainbow-colored tape.
Pride tape came out of a research question I had 10 years ago, was why are young gay male and bisexual boys dropping out of organized team sports at much younger ages than their heterosexual cisgender peers?
The Edmonton Oilers were the first in the NHL to support the initiative. Soon after, the rest in the league asked for rolls. Then Pride Tape's makers had to stick handle the NHL's short-lived attempt to ban it 2 years ago and briefly saw a jump in sales. Now they've scored in the international market, with orders coming in at an unprecedented level. Thanks to the worldwide success of Heated Rivalry, a fictional Canadian gay romance show about star hockey players.
We've actually been seeing sales follow the trend of where the show is going. We're seeing more tape being sold at a time, and we're seeing it it more globally.
They say sales are up 40%, recently receiving 3 bulk orders from Germany and sending boxes to UK's Elite Ice Hockey League for Pride Week.
We see a lot of players using it in warm-up, and then a lot of teams will also tape the top of the goalie stick and use that in the game as well. So we're hoping to see it used a lot.
The makers of Pride Tape are also hoping to see it used in the hit show.
We're in conversation with the folks at Crave about partnerships. Who knows, maybe in season 2, Pride Tape might make its debut in an episode.
The pair also hope the mission they set out on 10 years ago doesn't go away.
Despite having Pride Tape, we still don't have an NHL athlete, player, present or even in the past that has come out.
Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead, why Prince Albert City Council denied a request from Ronald McDonald House.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at your rural forecast heading into tomorrow. We're going to slowly start to see those temperatures warming up and more sunshine continuing throughout many parts of the province. However, tomorrow, western Saskatchewan looking a little cloudier than eastern Saskatchewan. -11 for Meadow Lake, Lloydminster outlook, and cloudy conditions there. Over in the east, Hudson Bay, nothing but sunshine, -17. Wynyard, -17 with a mix of sun and cloud. Melfort, a cooler spot there, -19 with a mix of sun and cloud. And Kindersley warming up to -9, warmer than average. Cloudy conditions continuing in the west there. For areas closer to the southern border, we'll see even warmer temperatures. Maple Creek 0 and cloudy, -5 for East End Cypress and cloudy, -7 for Leader and Coronach, cloudy conditions there. And then over in the southeast, -14 for Carlisle with a mix of sun and cloud, -19 for Kenora, and Lumsden and Pilot Butte, -14, mainly sunny. Taking a closer look at Raymore, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available through SaskTel, warming up to -16 tomorrow, mainly sunny conditions with a wind chill of -20 tomorrow. Cooling down to -22 into the evening with a wind chill of -29.
The city of Prince Albert has denied 2 requests by Ronald McDonald House to help cover the cost of road servicing in the area. Jasmine Pelche has more on why the organization felt the request was necessary.
The City of Prince Albert denied Ronald McDonald House Saskatchewan's request for the city to carry the responsibility of collecting surfacing costs for the development of 25th Street West from 7th Avenue to 10th Avenue West.
Just the asphalt and pavement portion of it, and that is what we are requesting. We don't pay up front the full 25th Street cost, and we just pay for our portion of that pavement.
The organization previously entered a separate agreement to carry water infrastructure costs for the street and to collect contribution or reimbursement from benefiting property owners.
We are covering our costs as per our agreement with the city. We hadn't finalized the agreement on the surfacing, and so I felt it was our opportunity to revisit that and look at ways that we can perhaps work together.
Ronald McDonald House previously said it would take reasonable action to enter an agreement for paving with comparable payment responsibilities to the water infrastructure agreement. The organization has more than 5 acres of land at this location, but has determined only 2.7 acres are needed for the build. Some of the remaining property is not suitable for construction, but the organization plans to use it for community space. A second request by the organization to only pay development levies on the 2.7 acres was also denied.
As a council, I feel we have a responsibility to apply our policies consistently and fairly. Assuming private development costs, even for a valued nonprofit such as Ronald McDonald House, sets a precedent that we can't sustain.
Administration says the request is not in alignment with existing policy. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Well, get those tents ready. Park Canada has announced campers can start booking reservations for the upcoming season on Friday. Prince Albert National Park's Beaver Glen Campground will be open from May 14th to October 11th. But residents can secure their camping spot starting Friday at 8 a.m. Reservations for Red Deer Campground will be announced at a later date. The Canada Strong Pass offers a 25% discount on camping fees from June 19th to September 27th, and reservations can be made by phone or online through the Parks Canada website. All right, let's take a look at those farm prices. Canola street price down $5 to $596.93 per ton, while the futures price is up 80 cents to $646.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat stays the same, $274.92 per ton, while red spring wheat up slightly by 4 cents to $253.43 per ton. Feed barley, $213.59 per ton, while flax is $575.54 per ton. Those prices courtesy of Bunge. As for the markets, the TSX up very slightly by 3 points, while the Dow Jones went down by 408 points. As for that Canadian dollar, it went down a fair bit, a little more than 0.7 of a cent to 73.64 cents U.S. On a commodity front, gold up again, another $171.46. It continues to fly up. West Texas Intermediate crude up $1.76. Western Canadian Select crude, though, dropped by 60 cents after a decent rise yesterday. So, gas in Regina, it's gone down. That's good news for drivers. It's commonly at most places right now for $1.21.9 per liter.
Metro reported first quarter results that missed the mark. The grocery store chain says net earnings dropped almost 13% year over year because of what it calls a challenging operating environment. A temporary shutdown of a frozen food distribution center weighed on Metro last year. Despite the miss, the grocer is hiking its quarterly dividend. La Caisse announced it's selling a block of Cogeco Communication shares. The investment group says it is rebalancing its portfolio. The sale will bring La Caisse about $230 million. But the news sent shares of Cogeco Communications plummeting. They ended the day down about 6%. General Motors reporting a quarterly loss of $3.3 billion US dollars. It's a big hit connected to a recent $7 billion US dollar write-down for its electric vehicle division. GM is reducing EV production. The company is calling its 2025 performance resilient and says 2026 will be a better year. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Oh, what's coming up tonight after the newscast?
Oh, the one time I didn't bet on it.
Will Trent at 7 o'clock, High Potential at 8 then. We've got 2 Big Bang Theories. Best Medicine. A lot of medical series coming out lately. The Pit, that one, that other one. A pair of superstars teaming up for a new tour, and it's going to be in Saskatoon.
And I'm so sick of love songs, so tired of tears, so done with...
Neo and Akon are bringing their Night Like This tour to SaskTel Centre on June 22nd, promising every city, every vibe, every night a party. Tickets go on sale to the general public on Friday, this Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. Well, most people get married surrounded by family and friends.
Sure.
But this couple did it in front of strangers.
Thank you all for being here.
What do you mean, thank you for being here? They're trying to fly somewhere.
They had no choice.
Tina and Roger took their wedding to a whole new level aboard a Southwest flight. The flight attendant officiated while passengers cheered them on. They'll go for their wedding straight to their honeymoon when they landed. So what do you get as a guest? Extra cookies? Like what?
Okay, but also, like, if the flight attendant officiated, this was clearly planned that they were going to get married on the flight? Or was it just like, hey?
No, there must have been some planning. I don't think they'd just get up and be like, hi, what seat are you in? I'm getting married. Can you officiate that thing?
Too bad the gift isn't like fly wherever you feel like on your anniversary date.
Unlikely.